Are you tired of storing, classifying, and looking for papers? I have the solution for you. Discover Paperless-ngx. With its organizing and tagging features combined to OCR, you will quickly turn your company into a paperless one. It has no cloud version, which means either you install it on a server using Docker, or you can install it directly on your own system. Together, we will see how to install it in few clicks using our platform Elestio. To install Paperless, go to ls.io, hit login, deploy my first service, search for Paperless-ngx, select, choose your cloud provider, choose your region and your service plan, and hit next. Then you can select different level of support, rename it if you need, and then create service. I have received the email telling me that the instance is ready. I click here to get the password. Then on my server dashboard, I click here to copy the password to my clipboard and I go to my instance. The username is my account email address and the password in my clipboard sign in. The first time we arrive, and because we didn't upload any document yet, we can start the tour to have a brief overview of what it is possible to do. It explains me about the dashboard to save view and inbox. Okay, next. I can drag and drop documents directly here, so it will be processed. Then I have the documents page where I can apply different filters and see all my documents at once. Then all those tagging features we'll see together just later. We can create different views from all the features we will apply. Then we have the tagging system, file task, we'll see all of it together, and the global settings. Then if we want to go further, we can have a look at the documentation, but let's end it and let's start the platform overview together. I prepared some documents with different types so we can have a look at how Paperless-ngx process them. The first one is a sample bank statements. We can copy text so it doesn't need OCR, it can just read the text directly in the PDF. Let's drag and drop it into here. And now we can see it is processing it. Because we are on the dashboard, we can see the number of documents, the number of characters that have been extracted from that document. But let's add other documents. This is a picture of a Google Map menu. We will try to upload it, and if it's able to recognize characters inside a picture. Let's also drag and drop it. This time it will also need to do OCR. I also took a screenshot of Elestio when you create a new instance. Let's try to upload it too. Then I have a sample invoice. We can upload it also, and a picture that has no text inside. It will be interesting. Then I have other documents that I want to add later. I will explain you why. So now it is processing the final one, and it already added 4 documents. In real time, you can see the number of documents that has been processed and the number total of characters that have been discovered inside the content of the pictures or the PDF. While it's processing the last one, let's go to documents. From here, you can see the list of documents that have been processed. That's why we are still missing one. Let's open one simple PDF that didn't need to have some OCR. Why do I say this? Because we can already copy the text because it's in a format that is readable by the computer. Oh, it just finished the processing of the image, so we should have our 5 documents. So on the right, we have the preview of our document. On the left, we have all the information, the title. We can add a serial number if we want to classify our different documents. The date created, it's automatically found within the document metadata. For example, sometimes we need to use another date. For example, here the date created is 6/05. But here it's trying to say it suggests us the 5, maybe because here it detects June 5, so maybe it should be another date. So we can apply the suggestion or choose another date manually, for example, the invoice date. Then we can assign a correspondent. It's the person related to that document. So you can add different one. Let's add myself. You can define matching algorithm, but we will see it later with the tagging feature. So let's save it. And now it's assigned to me, but you can add many other ones. Then you can create document type. Let's also create a new one. We can say it's bank document. We'll leave it like this. For example, we can say we want to see if a document contains this string. If it finds inside statement, we know it's a bank related document type. We won't upload another one and it's applied after we upload other ones. So we will try it later on other kind of documents. But it's just for you to see that we can automatically affect document type, correspondent, and tags based on criteria we will define. The storage path is if we want to organize it inside our instance with different paths. For the moment, we don't have any. We just put it at the root of our server. But you can define rules and organize the file system of your document organization. But it's optional and you might not need it because it's already organized properly with the file names, the different document types and tags. And then we have the tags system. Here we can say, for example, it's important. We will add a red color to it. We have different shades available. The matching algorithm, we won't define it for this document because we won't work too much with those kind of documents yet. But you also get other information, for example, the content. And this was grasped from the text content of the PDF. That's why we don't see Commerce Bank, because it didn't process it with the OCR, but it just read the PDF content from the available text. We'll see on the other document the OCR. Then you also have metadata from the file itself. You can add notes to it if you need to, and you can define permissions to who has access to view it, which groups, and who can edit the information of it. Let's jump to another kind of documents. We can close the open documents, go back to documents. Now we have that picture that has been processed and added. Let's open, for example, our dashboard of Elestio. So it automatically set the title, the creation date, and we have a preview on the right here. Now let's go to content. And what is great is that it automatically got some of the text content from the picture. It's not perfectly organized because maybe it's reading from left to right, the whole document, but you can get the text content without any mistake, and it can help you define rules based on what is written inside, because we have all the information of our picture. Let's go to details. We can say the document type, it's not a bank, but it's just a screenshot. So let's add it. And the tags, it will be open source. So we know it's related to open source. And we can define some rules to apply it automatically. By the way, I forgot to add important on the previous document. I should do it later. Let's look at other documents. Let's go here. We have our menu here. I have prepared other menu pictures. First, let's have a look at what it generated. It detected drinks, but then this is found nowhere. I think it's trying to read the Japanese character, but is not able to. So it's detected this way. But still it has the correct information and some mistakes on each line. But still we can get some useful information and create rules through what is readed. So let's give it a try. Go to details, document type. We can say, okay, it's just a picture or a photo. We want to add automatic detection. Let's go to tags. And this time we'll create a new tag for all menu, so food menu. The color, we can leave it. And we will define the matching algorithm. We will say that if our document contains any of these words, it will automatically apply the tag menu. So the matching pattern we will set will be chateau for some wine menu, and omelette. If any picture contains omelette, it will be inside the menu. Case insensitive, because we don't care about it, and we hit save. Now for this one, it won't reapply the detection, so we need to apply it manually. Set it a menu, we hit save. In the meantime, let's go back to our documents, and I forgot here to add the important tag, so let's just do it. So it's more visible. If we go here, we see the important label, and let's import our other menu items. So we have our two menu pictures here. We can drag and drop them anywhere because we are not on the dashboard, so we can drag and drop it anywhere on the page. And let's do it. We can follow what it's doing inside the dashboard. We can see it's processing two of them right now. If we go here, we can see the uploaded complete for one. For the other one, it's doing some stuff on it. Now all our documents have been processed. We can see we have 7 documents. Let's go to Document. And we can see our 2 new items. They have automatically the menu tag applied to them. This is because in this screenshot here, if we go to Content, we can see, I guess somewhere we should have omelette. So it was detected. And on the other one, if we go back to this one, Content, and we have Chateau. Let's go back to our documents list. From here, you can also do bulk editing. So you can select all of them, apply tags, apply correspondent, and not do them one by one. You can also add some filters to only see the menu. And once you have done this, you can create a view based on that. So automatically, because it has filters applied, it sets a name, but we can edit it. We can show on dashboard and save. Now we can go to the dashboard here, and we have all the documents related to the menu tag. So you can organize your documents and have them at a glance available for you. You can really personalize your dashboard to what you need based on your company, on your business. You also have global information on the number of documents, of detected characters inside the documents, but also the repetition between the different formats of file types. Let's try to re-upload a document that has already been uploaded. It automatically defines it as fail here, and in file tasks we have an error. So let's open it, and what it says is it failed to process that file, and we have the reason why it did that. It's because it is a duplicate from a file that already exists. It's very practical to avoid errors and have duplicates. And if you do bulk imports, this page is very useful to detect errors. But if you're fine with this one, you can just dismiss it and continue and see all the different files that worked, what is happening, like what start and queued if you have a large number of files processed at the same time. You also have access to the logs of your instance to see what is going on, but you also have it on Elestio if you're using it. In the settings menu, you can set up paperless to fit better your need with default settings, the language used, the way the date is formatted. It has a lot of generic options. You can just have a look at them. But the most important is users and group. If you are not alone working on your company and you need other people to access documents and to put their invoices or their credit card tickets, they can put it directly using their account and you know who uploaded what and when. And as always, I recommend you to have a look at the documentation to know all the available features that I didn't cover in this platform overview. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this platform overview of Paperless-ngx. To help our channel be more visible to other open source lovers, please hit the like button and don't hesitate to ask questions in the comment sections. To not miss our upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and in the meantime you can watch our existing platform overview available here.